Welcome, everybody. We're back with the rewatch. We are on the middle section of episode 7. It's Dane Bornhold here. I am taking it a little bit easier than the last outing. I'm on beer, but it's in a fancy stone mug with an anti-roofie lid. So, yeah. We got a great special guest, one of our very first YouTube subscribers, one of our earliest commenters. You can find his stuff posted 4 months ago. Jonathan R. is in the house. Welcome, Jonathan. How are you doing?
Good, man. It's good to be here.
Great. Now we got two obligatory questions for you, but first I'm going to go over to Alex and to Pips and ask what they're drinking, and then it's over to you as far as what you're drinking today, and then your connection to Wheel of Time. So, Alex, who might be
I am
muted, there he
currently
is.
throwing back the a limited batch release of Leinenkugel's Sunset Wheat.
Let me know some more about that beer. Where's it from?
It is Leinenkugel, so it is from Wisconsin, and it is with natural blueberry and citrus flavors.
Sounds very end of summer and apropos. Is
And
this another one of those beers that you can't get outside of Wisconsin?
nope, this one is they've gone national.
Okay. Have they gone international? I'm thinking about myself.
I don't know.
All right. I'll
You'd
keep
have
an
to
eye
look
out
it
for
up.
it. All right, Pips, what about you? What are you getting drunk on
I am
other
drinking,
than life?
getting high on life, getting drunk on scotch. And today it is a very nice single malt made by the Aberlour, or I think if I was from the UK, I think I'd say Abula, sort of distillery. And this is it's a special batch that they do. It's a small batch that they put out in kind of numbered lots every once in a while. This one is at cask strength, so it's 123 proof, I think.
Oh
And
shit! How long are you going to be able to last, man?
no, 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 no. This is straight nectar of the gods right here. This doesn't even get you drunk.
If you
But
say
man,
so.
it's tasty, very
I think
tasty.
there's plenty of video evidence to the contrary.
No, 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 no. This is like drinking syrup. You should know.
All right.
Hey, just like kicking back some maple syrup, something you Canadians should know
Oh,
something about.
probably, but I had one whiskey last time, and holy crap, did that do a number on me? I
Mm.
shouldn't have done that.
Well, this
Jonathan,
this is fantastic stuff. So you'll have to get yourself a bottle sometime. Again,
yes.
they don't endorse me. I do endorse them. It is fantastic. It's one of my favorites.
Jonathan, what are you drinking? You don't have to be drinking with us. It's kind of just our thing. But as you probably know from watching these, we got plenty that don't partake, but we're always at awe of those that don't because there's no other real way to cope with the show. So indulge us.
No, I'm happy to partake. I'm drinking a glass of red.
You're an 800-pound horse. That's why you don't get drunk.
uh, yeah, maybe.
All right. Shall we do this? Jonathan, thanks for indulging us, your connection with Wheel of Time. But if you're up for it, man, I think we got to get rolling. It's going to suck. And for those
Let's do
watching,
it.
we're going to try and get through the middle section of this. And there's a part that's on the bubble. Are we going to show Nynaeve and Lan fuck?
No, I don't think so. I think
Nope.
that I think
Is that
that'll.
is that a bridge too far?
Well,
For me, yes.
Okay.
out of deference to our guest, I don't think we should put him through that. We're having. He said that one of the worst things they did to the character Egwene was they made this relationship between him and Rand. We're already going to make him see that. Why?
Oh.
Have mercy.
All right, we'll just hint at it. But let's play our mid-episode break by ear. I don't think there's a good natural break in this section, but I mean it's all a fucking train wreck. So
Yeah,
let's get through this.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And pause.
The mysterious stranger. Who could it be?
No, it's Pat and Fane, but Do you guys remember how they added that bonus photo in like the X-ray on Discord where he's kind of wandering out with a Avendosora leaf
Yeah, I'm
And it's the
gonna.
tiniest
item?
thing ever, too. Why is it
Yeah,
so tiny?
yeah, I'm gonna throw a screenshot of it into this when we put it up on YouTube because yeah, it's silly.
I
Does
love when
that
they literally like we completely blew this so bad that we had to go in and add something that happened off camera because we forgot it.
So here's the
It's
question that
not
I
how
had
this
about
works.
this. Right, here's the question I had about this. That looked like it was almost like a behind the scenes like picture, right? Like I don't think that they
it
came
probably
back.
was photoshopped?
You think so?
It, it could have been.
No,
Like,
I think they filmed it and then cut it and then
Yes.
realized what an issue it
And
caused.
that's what I was going to say is that they filmed it, they cut it, then they realized it was a catastrophic issue and they tried to like just release this picture like that makes sense. Which like first of all, the process that you have to go through mentally in order to even go like have that happen is just astounding. But it just further reinforces what we've said time and time again, which is that this show only makes sense if you've read the books, and if you've read the books, it makes no sense.
here's my
Yeah,
question. Okay, for Jonathan. Um, what's Pat and Fane like at this point in the story?
He's a like a city goon who's basically stalking them from behind. The last time you see him was at Camelin during the Logain trial, and he's like wearing scraps, and he's a piece of shit pretty much.
Yeah, he's like
Well, he
crazy.
always was. I have to commend them though. These are nice boots.
Matt
Yeah,
Cawthon would like these
he would have
boots.
he would have ran those boots into the ground just running to Barrelon. Like he should be in rags. He should be insane. He should be desperate.
Oh
And
yeah, he was being whipped along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he one of the best fucking spoilers for rereads, and I'm gonna do it now because Pips, if you haven't put it up before, like this is full spoilers. Um, 9 books in, and you find out how the cleansing happens and what the mechanic was, and then you realize that there was a hint dropped here when Moraine later on in Eye of the World is assessing how Pat and Fane made it through the ways because if you remember, a moment ago, Macham Shin, the Mean Girls, Regina George, was at this waygate. Well, in the books, that's an issue. How did Pat and Fane make it past Macham Shin? And for Moraine, it's a mystery. For all of us, it's a mystery. And then we get the answer, which is that the evil of Shatter Logoth annihilates the evil of the Dark One. And it was set up this early in the series. And it's a mind blowing bit of foreshadowing by Robert Jordan. Get none of it here. You don't even have the right fucking Pat and Fane.
So this is a great still here to ask a question. Do we think that during this show the costume director's like boxes got confused? Because he looks like he he should really be wearing the clothing that we've seen Matt in all fucking season.
yes, yes.
Like how like do we think that that's the level of stupid oversight that they're doing that like Pat and Fane like they just crudely pasted the names on the side of a costume box and they just went with it
P and M are close in the alphabet. Maybe that something got flipped, but
because
You
those
guys
look
ever feel? Go ahead.
no you're the guest go for it.
I was just gonna say though, like I remember reading Eye of the World that when Fane shows up in Faldara, he felt like a Gollum figure. You felt bad for him, just how disgusting he was.
Oh, you
And then
very much.
here he is in nice shiny boots, long cape. It's just so weird
yeah,
what they chose to do with the character here.
This
yeah,
is
and
this is
not
what
only
you'd
that,
expect him.
Jonathan, but the empathy that characters felt for Pat and Fane that gets even more reinforced by Egwene at the start of the Great Hunt, right?
Well,
Because
she's the
they've been
best
going
character. Yeah.
well, no, because she's being foolish, but I will concede that she Pat and Fane is that sympathetic Gollum character, right? And Egwene is basically saying, it's like, sometimes he's himself, and I've known him since I was a little girl, and I just can't believe this about him, type of thing. And you don't get that at all here. He's a mustache twirling villain, and that's all that they can do.
It's sad.
Yeah, and they lose a lot to it. Like you said, the foreshadowing that's involved in his character, a lot of just kind of the stuff that is going to be important about his character going forward, right? Like he is acting in this episode and apparently in episode 8 the way that you would expect Padden Fane as like Ordith, like far in the future to be acting, where he's much more kind of in control of himself. This is the clothing you'd expect him to be wearing when he's like, talking to Turok, trying to get his sort of his in with the High Lord, right? So it's just they
this is what you expect when he's full Mordeath,
yeah,
but not at this point in the story,
yeah.
right?
Technically, he absorbed some of Machin Shin, so he's a different character now after walking out of the Waygate.
Yeah.
Now, what? Okay, here's a question for you three. What do you think Machin Shin told him in the show? Speaking the truth.
Oh man.
Oh boy. I don't know. The Dark One's going to eat you.
You go, girl. You gonna get that dagger, something like that.
You ask a difficult question because I'm not convinced that the show running and the writers have given any evidence that characters in this world exist when they're not on camera. So I'm not really convinced he actually went through the ways. I think he just spawned. Again, he hit his spawn point and he started walking. Like that's what happened. All right.
Let's get off these boots. Is he gonna whistle or something?
Yep.
Oh fuck. The way he's swaggering, that Machin Shin did say "You go, girl." Look at that.
Have you guys talked about Faldar yet?
Not really. We're this is go for it, man.
How the hell is that place being supported? Where are the houses and farmlands? It's just a desert. Why are people there? How do they live? It's so stupid.
Yep. So I guess let's pose. And I posed this question last time actually. What is the significance of lamps in Feldara?
That's exactly what I was just going to ask. I was going to say that was a perfect lead into what we talked about last time. Why is the torch not lit? And why is this?
It's not like a Murderall can fucking hide in this hallway.
She can't even channel.
No, in the show, she can.
That's not an important statement.
Okay. All right. Faldara, it's very stupid, Jonathan. You're very right to point that out. That looks like maybe a military star fort or a base, not a city.
Oh, so now you think it looks like a star fort. Last time you were fighting me about it.
A four-pointed star fort. And Pips, honestly, I have no recollection of last week whatsoever, so I don't know what I fought you on.
Good stuff.
But but Jonathan R is right. This is not what Shinar looks like. This is not what the Borderlands look like. This looks like the fucking Aiel waste. And like, if Shinar looks like this, what the hell does the waste look like?
The waste is going to look like a jungle. And
oh God, you're probably right.
Yeah, there's just literally there's no connection with any of these locations. Like the White Tower didn't look like the White Tower. It did look like Shia LaBeouf, but the none of the stuff we've seen so far has any real sense of the locations from the actual books. And I think, Jonathan, yeah, you're right. This is one of the worst offenders. It looks comical.
Just wait till next episode.
We get the blight. Oh man, fuck.
We get the blight. We get the blight in next episode of the rewatch.
In either case, it sucks.
Your chambers are this way. A room fit for an Aes Sedai.
While I'm here, I thought I might pay Min a visit. I presume she still resides in the city.
Lucia, why do you wish to speak with her?
So everyone knows about Min,
Yep.
huh?
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody knows about Min because she likes telling people about her talent. She totally doesn't, have any sort of problems with people reacting negatively about the things that she sees.
I know they want to dumb down the show for basic people who follow fantasies, but to call her a seer just feels sad.
Well, she gets called a
I was gonna
doomseer at
say,
the
yeah,
end, but that's a Brandon
that
Sanderson.
was
I
a
always kind
Sanderson
of
thing.
like that because she
I don't
doesn't always
know.
show a doom.
They're just trying to appeal to basic fantasy. The character's so much more than just a seer. I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah,
I agree. I hate it too. I hate it for several reasons, as we discussed. The implication that I mean, the only thing I can think is that this sister is like some serious Aes Sedai ally, like a top level Blue Aja eye and ears. But I don't even think Moraine like let the eye and ears network know, right?
So the only indication that we have that anyone other than Moraine knows about Min in the entire series, to my knowledge, is when the Aes Sedai that are in Kyrian, and I can't remember which one of the ones it is. They're on the Sea Folk ship with Rand doing the negotiation, and one of
It was
them makes a
Barrett
comment.
and Rafella,
I don't think that it was either one of the two of
or
them. I think it started with an M. But anyway,
is it
um,
Marana? It's Marana and Rafella. That's what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so she makes a comment about how she heard a rumor of a girl who, could see things that came true, right? Had some sort of a foretelling. The things that she saw, tended to happen. And that's the only reference we have to anyone outside of Moraine knowing that Min exists, right? So conceivably, Moraine had to learn about it somehow. So maybe the Aes Sedai know
There were
generally.
a couple of blue sisters that knew about Min in Baralon, and that's how Moraine got plugged into her. I thought that was established in one of the early books.
It
Yes.
is.
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The blues, I think, probably through their eyes and ears might have known of her. And I think that's probably as far as we can get. So.
Yep.
Why not?
My philosophy as well. My brother begs to differ.
Of course he does. Why?
Stupid man. He doesn't want to learn about the future.
Yes.
Stupid
What
man
kind?
doesn't,
What kind of
he
idiot
doesn't care
leader
about
would want to know?
seers.
There's this
Keep her
person.
in the bar. There's a
Madge,
useful person who can tell me the future, but I don't want to hear about
we
it.
live in a world where it's
Let her tend
universally accepted.
glasses in a bar.
It's universally accepted that magic is real. But stupid men are like, nah. Oh God.
Ah.
Why do you ask her a question when he already knows all the answers?
Boom.
I
It's
wonder
like,
if Rafe Judkins considers himself a stupid man.
Oh
If
man.
this is his commentary.
he's not self-aware enough.
Like I just pause it there because I really I want to say, in case the line actually is this, I hope the next line is they look at each other and they giggle and they say, "Yeah, don't men fucking suck?" Like, this is the most ridiculous dialogue.
Is this the same hallway, just reversed?
Almost certainly. This show doesn't use more than one hallway. We've established that.
It's true.
But so Lady Balefire is going to get pissed about me in the comments for this for sure. But anyone who's watching House of the Dragon, one of the early-ish episodes, there's this line between Corlys Velaryon and Daemon. Corlys says something insulting about his Daemon's brother Viserys, and Daemon turns and says, "I can say whatever I want about the king. You can't." Right? So Daemon, who's like not a good character, shows more love and respect for his family members than random extra number 3 who's like, "Yeah, men do suck. I've thought about killing him in my sleep many times. I would be so much better." Like, why does everyone hate everyone? Why is this whole world terrible?
Yeah, that is
Taking Trolloc as far as fucking Feldar is concerned.
Yeah.
dude, Team Sauron is rapidly catching Team Dark One, but Team Dark One is very appealing as we watch this.
Yeah.
All right,
We had no
Piffs.
forewarning a sister was coming from the town south of here.
Probably would have helped to have somebody that could see the future, but
Why would you say that line? And why would you ask, like, why were you in the ways? To get here. Like, I already said that I was in the ways. And then you're like, we had no forewarning from the town south of here. I did say I was in the ways. Like, that's how that happened. Well, why were you in the ways?
To get
Just
here
feels
faster, you dumb
To
fucking
pick
bitch.
fruit? Like, what? Like, what the
because we were in a
fuck?
fucking hurry.
Like, yeah, I vacation there sometimes in the spring. It's quite lovely. Like, fuck.
it just feels like terrible writing. Like, I don't know, man. Have these people ever talked to each other before?
Apparently
It-
not.
this is where I'll have to say that this is terrible writing. It's god awful, but this is what makes Wheel of Time worse than Rings of Power. Is these people had a fucking script to follow. Like they had a playbook. They could have followed the Eye of the World. They could have lifted lines from that and people would appreciate it. It was already written for them, and they decided to do their own thing and made it suck. Whereas Rings of Power, they're just doing their own thing and it sucks.
It is
It's not
pretty
like anyone
crazy.
was showing them the way.
It is pretty crazy when you think like how few lines of dialogue or just anything they don't do a like one for people who complain about the you can't have a one for one. Fine, whatever. Yes, no one ever said that you could unless you wanted it to be 30 hours long like the audiobook. Got it. But they didn't do a one for one adaptation of anything. There's not a single line of dialogue, not a single scene. It's ridiculous.
It's because she'd have to be talking to Agomar, because that's what they did in the books, and women need to affirm women here.
Yep, women affirming
Yep.
women.
I had to ask, why you went the ways? Would you give me the courtesy of an answer?
You spent many years training with my sisters at the White Tower. And while you're
There you go, guys. So the accepted rings we are going to see are, in fact, going to look that stupid.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
Dane, you've made the comment before that like, how are you supposed to pretend to be Aes Sedai?
Yeah. That was my first thought when I saw that fucking ring that was in the Wine Spring Inn trailer where it showed the Moraine's ring prominently with the blue gem. Was like, wait a second. Our Supergirls are accepted and they're going to masquerade themselves off as full sisters using an Aes Sedai ring. With the gem, with an actual Aja stone, how is that going to work? And then I thought, oh, they fixed it when Egwene stole all those rings off of Eamon Valda. But an episode later, she gives them back to earn fucking goody two shoe points.
I mean,
it dawns on me they're never gonna have those girls do anything that makes them maybe look negative in some kind of way. They have to behave perfectly.
There's only one or
It's
two
just
things.
sad because the best part about these characters is that they're flawed. They're massively flawed characters, and I don't know. Do you think they'll go that far and rewrite it and just remove
Yeah.
that whole idea of them lying about who
Well,
they are?
List a flaw that Nynaeve or Egwene has in the story so far, in the show at least. But you're absolutely right. Flawed characters are interesting. Flawed characters are human. Flawed characters you can empathize with. And these idiots are only trying to show us perfect characters.
I can
at
list a
least for
flaw.
one gender.
I can list a flaw
What?
for both of them. It's not a flaw that
The
any of the
mole doesn't
writers.
count.
It's
The mole does not
It's-
count, Pips. That's
it's not a flaw that any of the writers would agree is a flaw, but it is, which is that they're both huge sluts.
No, no, you're wrong though, because they're okay with showing the boys as terrible characters. Like, it's pathetic, but then some of the girls, they're not even interesting anymore. I don't know.
None of the characters
Nope.
are interesting. Perrin literally disappears from any scene that he's in because it's just the women talking with him standing in the background, and sometimes his mouth is open, like they were thinking about having him do dialogue, but he didn't. In fact, that actually might explain Perrin's character more, maybe he's being directed to keep his mouth open so that they can dub in dialogue for him later if they think of something for him to say. I don't know. Random thought.
Unfortunately, no. I was actually I was sort of curious to see what Marcus Rutherford was like in other shows. So I turned on that movie Obey, and I am distraught to inform everybody that that is Marcus Rutherford's natural state of being. He went
My
through the
brother
main.
does that too. He always keeps his mouth open.
Oh,
It is
man.
a horrible thing for a leading character to do.
Fantastic. Well, hey, that's why people watch the White Cloaks, guys. We put in the work. And by we, I mean Alex.
Watching Obey. Oh fuck.
It's very interesting seeing him as a main character. Like everything we hate about him in this show is still there, but
He plays
like,
a cuck in 2 shows.
Yeah,
you joke, but yeah, basically, um, but he's far more likable in that just because
He's
you know
not Perrin.
they made him
Doesn't kill his
kind of
wife.
I was gonna say
kind of an underdog.
he didn't murder his wife, his pregnant wife.
That helps. No, I was gonna he does beat the shit out of the guy that was abusing his mom though. So that made me kind of like him.
That sounds like some toxic masculinity.
I know, it was fucking awesome.
You're gonna have to reevaluate that.
Pardon me.
Ah,
If you
fucking
become
accepted
strong enough
ring.
To become one of us, I hope I might still trust your discretion.
Discreet as I may be, my allegiance lies with this city.
Except for when I was shit talking my brother 3 fucking seconds ago.
Yeah. Did we watch the non sequitur there? The would you give me the courtesy of answering my question? And she goes, you were with my sisters in the tower for so long. Like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, just take it. You're not answering the question. Okay, moving on. I hate that shit in television right now.
Yeah. It's true. Scripts these days don't have characters talking to each other. They're all sort of talking to the audience without looking at the camera.
really bad with Amazon shows.
It's kind of like porn dialogue. No, wait, porn dialogue's the opposite. They at least still talk to each other in the
There's
setup.
a man that they must find.
Ugh, this is terrible.
This.
Matt Cawthon.
Just destroy the next few books.
I was gonna say, Moraine is basically
Let's
irredeemable
see.
at this point.
Did she say? Yep, there it is.
What
Fuck
the fuck?
this show.
All of this, like,
Okay, Moraine is now actively attempting to get Matt killed. Like, she is now
you see
irredeemable.
that? Because so
Well, what's the
is
point
she?
of this?
Because
Like,
the Red Aja cannot use the one power as a weapon if they're under the 3 O's, which I think they established in the show, but then just nuked those oaths as well. But he can't channel, right? So what's the danger to him?
So, I think that it's pretty likely that the Red Aja, which doesn't use warders, if he's in the city of Tarvalon, the Red Aja would probably show up with a few of the Tower Guard, probably female Tower Guard, but they're gonna have spears and crossbows and shit, and so they're just gonna stab him, right? It's just gonna be like, yep, go find this dude. He's a bad dude, right? They're gonna shoot first and ask questions later. Look what they did with the guy. The only thing we've seen so far that they've established, right, is that we've seen them interact with 2 men in 2 situations. One of them, you're strongly led to believe that they kill him, right? And the second one,
It's the prologue.
yes, and the second one is they gentle this guy in contravention of Tower law. So like,
so it's the Tower FBI.
I don't see what this does for the story, though. Like, obviously they're skipping to book 3 Matt's plot, but he never was hunted by Red Aja. Why? Why do this? It's so terrible.
It's Rafe getting back at the actor by destroying the character. That's the only thing that makes sense. is that he was pissed that the actor put them in this situation, and so he's taking it out on the character for some reason to the detriment of his story, right? Like he's literally cutting off his nose to spite his own face.
Not going to make him look any better.
I've heard people defend this, and they swear up and down that this is going to lead to something in the next season. And I have racked my brain trying to come up with it, and I do not know what it is.
So there are only a couple options. Either they're going to completely forget that this ever happened, and Matt is just going to be recast, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and a warder in training, and that's why you're going to see the quarterstaff scene in the Hall of the Tower with Sand, aka the warder training grounds. Or it's going to be worse than we can possibly imagine, and like Matt is already going to be bonded to like 7 sisters or something. Fucking stupid.
He's going to be Alana's 10th or maybe even her 11th warder.
Oh yeah, and then we get to see the daisy chain with Matt right in the middle. Oh fuck you, Pips.
It's going to be more of
Not
a human
drunk enough for
centipede.
that.
It's very
Yeah,
clear
exactly.
that Rafe wants to tell the Aes Sedai story for some reason, but
Yeah, that
it's
was
just
Sneed's meta comment. Is basically that this show is Wheel of Time that doesn't want the story to be about the Dragon Reborn, wants it to be about Aes Sedai and Aes Sedai politics, women wizards.
The frustrating thing about that is that they could have done the Rings of Power treatment of Wheel of Time, right? Go make a story. Go tell the New Spring story, right? Go make
go tell a Brigitte story for crying out loud.
Go make
1,000 years before, or a
a
false
Trolloc
dragon.
Wars. Tell a story about
the fall of
Red
Manetheren.
hunting.
Yeah, you could have done the Sanshan and had the female empress and all of that craziness. They could have done whatever the hell they wanted. They could have gone over to Shara and just invented shit. And then it would have just been all persons of color. They would have been so happy with themselves. And honestly, I would have been interested to see what somebody might come up with in the world of Shara. But they decided to take these characters and this story and just twist it up
into porn.
Yeah, I mean, is Mabrim and Sharid not just Rings of Power right now? Like, wouldn't her sort of Taveran story, trying to get the 10 nations together to fight the Trolloc Wars, isn't that basically what Rings of Power is?
The betrayal of Manetheren. There's so many good stories. The turn of Shadar Logoth.
Yep. It would be great. God, this show sucks.
Okay, Amelisa, you suck.
Fascinated by what that guy with the hammer was doing.
Did she slow down to look back at them? Or was that just a... I don't care anymore.
We find out later in this episode, and we already found out earlier, she doesn't give a shit about Matt. She is too self-involved to really care about him. Why? What's wrong? Is it Matt? Fuck off.
They're setting up their Rance the Dragon right now.
Yeah.
It's the wind. Forget about the whispers. None of it's true. None of it.
Are you sure, Egwene? Because it was pretty spot on about you.
Oh, there it was.
There it was, guys.
Yeah. The implications here are just stunning. Like, all 5 of our main characters just walked right by this man.
Yes.
And nobody...
And they've seen for years, their whole lives comes down to the 2 rivers with this traveling cart. And yeah, there he goes.
Yep. Also, this goes back to what we talked about last time. The attempt at establishing the link between Padan Fain and Perrin, right? So within this same episode, they rejected a strong opportunity to set that up in favor of giving Egwene nothing. So, she sat up from sleeping. I guess that's maybe to indicate that she was not soundly sleeping in the arms of her lover Rand, because she secretly doesn't love him.
Both banger. Both banger. They've done nothing more than that.
But it's just, fuck. Like this is so contrived. Like you said, nobody even saw him.
I guess the other thing that this is damning for is, man, this is really damning for Pad and Fane. Like, my goal is to sort of keep an eye on these guys and then spring an ambush when it's time. I should walk right by them. I'm sure that will not raise any questions at all.
That's true. He's been pretty stealthy up to this point. You barely even saw him, and this time, like he literally could have. You saw him as close to the camera as this fucking mouth breather.
It's funny because by now in the books, when they get to Faldar, you figure out the motivations of Fane. What is Fane's motivations? I have no clue in the TV show.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, no idea.
Being evil, twisting his mustache.
Close your mouth.
What's gotten into you?
I could have sworn I just...
This scene is both of the two women asking both of the two men what's wrong with them. Hey, men here, white cloaks. Does that seem like a conversation that happens in that direction between men and women on a regular basis?
Nope.
With me it does, but I've got issues.
I feel like that is the universal male experience. You look over, your wife, girlfriend, whatever is like doing something, and you're like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. But
I like the implication of this shot that Moraine, Rand, and Egwene just dished him. Like, man, fuck these losers. We're going to the bar by ourselves.
also,
They're not in the shot.
They're not even in the shot. So Perrin and Nynaeve are at least 50 paces behind, going to see Min, right? Is that where they're going?
I guess, yeah. Perrin's face is also, like, this is a pretty perfect example. You know that meme where the guy's walking with his girlfriend and he's looking around over his shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
This is that meme. Perrin's not looking at Pat and Fane. He's checking somebody's ass out right now.
Except that ass isn't in shot.
Say,
otherwise,
why
we
are
could
you
totally meme this.
Why are you sure it's not Pad and Fane's ass he's checking out?
That's true. It could be. But this is literally, he's checking out an ass and Nynaeve is like, what the fuck?
2/3 of a meme right here.
Yeah.
So Pad and Fane walked past us.
The peddler.
No shit.
No.
Pad and Fane's dead.
No, the crofter.
He was there on Beltane when the Trollocs came.
Yeah, but you didn't see him laugh and basically flip a coin and go the other way.
Seems like
They basically lifted the Barrelon scene and just lifted it to here. Interesting.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
But in Barrelon, they
talked
ran
to
into
him.
Pad and
Yeah,
Fane.
they talked to him.
Well, at least Rand did. And then Matt said, hey, I thought I saw him.
Yeah.
And hey, wouldn't that have been good? Like going to Barrelon and meeting Dane Bornhold. Right?
You just wanted to self-insert into the show.
Beltane.
Banned words.
Give it a few months, he'll show up.
Oh, fuck yeah. They're going to cast me as like...
Hey, there's some armor in the background. Did you see it?
Oh, look
no,
at that.
Yeah, Moraine's armor.
What is everyone looking at?
Why did someone whisper, what is she doing here?
Yeah.
Has she been here before? And does this random bar patron recognize her?
Yes. And like, they're treating her like, ooh, Aes Sedai. Did you see that Aes Sedai? Aes Sedai. Oh, Aes Sedai.
Only
What the
Aes
fuck
Sedai
are
wear
they
shoulder
doing?
pads like that.
I mean, it is
That's
true.
probably what it is.
The Power Ranger costumes have a strong sort of correlation with Aes Sedai from what we've seen. But, I mean, fucking, what's his name? Agomar had a Power Ranger fucking shoulder pad costume. Maybe she's Shinaran.
Ranger costumes, another terrible decision.
Is anybody gonna? All right, we should probably talk about this
Men.
atrocity. Yes. Um.
I
The fuck,
wonder,
guys?
I
What are
wonder
we
did they,
doing?
did they even do like a character to character screen test or something? Min and Rand just do not look good together.
No, no,
Well,
they do not.
because he's the fucking smiley weirdo who should be cast as the Joker, and she's old.
What is this actress's age?
She's in her
She
30s.
looks,
Like
She looks like
yeah,
late 30s.
It's Kay Alexander. Kay Alexander is.
I'm late 30s, but I look younger than this.
you'll see it later in their conversation, but their chemistry is terrible together.
It's awful.
But
she's a
who could
good
she have-
actress too, and
But who
it's
could
just
she
a
have good
bizarre
chemistry with?
choice. She's 37.
Yeah, late 30s.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Oh, what were they thinking?
I'm older, but I look younger than this.
They wanted somebody who was, no offense, Asian descent, and who could, I don't know, fit the part with the kung fu fighting with the Power Ranger stuff. I don't know.
She's not a bad actress either. She's decent in some stuff. I just don't get what the thought process was.
Min
Ugh.
Min's actress right now. Have you guys seen those, like, the memes of your daughter when she graduates high school, your daughter when she comes back from freshman year?
Yes.
So put like bookmen on the left, showmen on the right. This is her after freshman year. All that's missing is that her hair needs to be dyed a little bit.
So this is Min after she enrolled in Herod Fell's school and got all those crazy philosophy classes.
I think
Convinced her
I think
that,
Herod Fell was more based than than maybe that meme comes from in origin. But
well, okay, several turnings of the wheel after, and these Rand academies have gotten just as infected with Marxism as modern day colleges. So,
as the writers' room of this
Ah.
show,
Just
good fucking Lord.
I love the thought process behind it. Like if you were to like list out like Min's like traits,
Mhm.
she's young, she's younger than Rand, she's sort of has an optimistic attitude. She's
No,
a
she's older than
She's
Rand.
older.
Yeah,
she's older?
yeah, but not many years. She's older than Rand.
She's around Nynaeve's age, or a
Yes.
little bit.
I'm sorry, you're right. She's 3 or 4 years older because he's supposed to be 20 and she's supposed to be like 24.
Ish. Yeah, depends on part story.
Yeah.
Can we be honest here? What they want is they want Rand with a white girl, a black girl, and an Asian girl. Let's just say it. It's obvious. As a black person, I can say it. It's obvious what they're doing.
Dude, I would be.
I don't even agree with that. I think it's very clear. I think the Elaine Avienda hookup is all but inevitable. I don't think this show's feminist roots have any interest in seeing an MFFF relationship at all. I think these two are going to be our couple, and then those two are going to be a standalone.
I think Avienda and Perrin's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
god,
definitely,
that's so much worse.
they can't resist. They couldn't resist the Egwene and Perrin.
Yeah.
They're not going to resist once they delete all of Perrin's Aiel friends and make Avienda sit in his place. They can't resist it.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, so John, I want to say I really hope that you are wrong. That it's not just that stupid. That it's just like, yep, there's 3 women, so obviously representation rules apply. Like, that would be so dumb. But I can totally see, like, I had not thought of that before you say that, and I can 100% see it. Because the thing that comes down, like, when they talk about the casting choices in these shows, and they're always like, well, we just picked the best person for the job. And it's like, I've seen what like a Hollywood listing for a casting looks like. Like, it is, Caucasian woman, brown hair, 22 to 25 years old, like,
Nice.
tall, right? Like they list what the character is supposed to look like, and then they ask people to show up and do a reading for that character, right? So the listing for this role, in order for her to have even gotten into the door, was middle-aged Asian woman, whatever height she is, right? Like that was the casting call.
Maybe with an English accent. Here's the bigger point. And for those of you who know the book series, let me back up a sec here. Rand goes through some horrid shit as Taviran. We've discussed this, I think, on previous rewatches, that he only really has one choice in the whole series, and that's um, make it or break it. It's his veins of gold, his epiphany on Dragon Mount, where he chooses love and life and a chance to do it again versus death and annihilation.
Yeah.
And that's in spite of all the things he's had to suffer. Um, from the wound in his side, the wound getting doubled over, the pad and fein dagger, getting abused by the Aes Sedai, the taint on Sidene, and the madness. He has to choose that he wants to try again or live through it again, whatever it is. And the big upshot in terms of, hey, anybody reading this, you want to be Rand? You get 3 chicks. And they're all awesome. Elaine's awesome. She's the princess. She's got the red gold curls. She looks great in velvet, and she's just Jonathan. What you like about Egwene? Yeah, I love Elaine. She's my
Oh,
girl.
okay.
So
I hate
You
Elaine
just-
with all my heart and soul.
fuck, no,
Dane,
no,
Dane
fuck you.
just likes the
Fuck-
oval cutout in her dress in friggin' Ebudar.
Yeah, that too. But Min's okay. I shouldn't go to Min. I'll leave Min for last because we're on her. But Avienda is a good girl too, right? She's the dedicated spear. She's athletic. She's from a different culture, but yeah, when chips are down, she fucks them in an igloo. Like, it's great. And then Min is the best girl, right? She's the book reader. She's got the sassy tongue. She wears the tight pants, yoga pants before they even were invented. Min invented yoga pants. That's all I'm saying. And she wears the high heels in this freaking universe. The combination of those 3, that's why Rand chooses to live. Fight me if you disagree, but if Rand didn't have 3 women that loved him and 3 women that he loved, he probably would have made the choice that he did on top of Dragon Mount. And what this show is doing is making it abundantly clear, just by fucking Min alone, Rand would not choose life. He'd be like, nope, I think annihilation seems kind of a good idea.
No, what the show wants
See you
to
later.
say, he chooses life. They're going to say he chooses life because of diversity, and look how diverse his girlfriends are.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
Am I the only
fuck
one
you,
that's
Jonathan
having-
R. You're probably right. Oh, god damn this show.
Am I the only one that's having a real problem picturing this Min being down to give Rand the lap dance in Lords of Chaos?
yeah, that probably would not happen. She seems like she has very little chill from what we see of her in this episode.
I was going to say a lot of chill, downright frigid, in fact.
All right, let's get this thing moving.
At least the drinks will be cold, right, Alex?
Thank you.
Glasses.
Donate chicken or
Glasses.
Holy
I have to fucking say
shit.
this. Glasses.
Wow, that's rough.
They're drinking beer out of glasses.
Hey, don't skip over this part too. The terrible what they're doing to Perrin's character, making him like the champion of the Way of the Leaf when he actually fought the Way of the Leaf and argued against it. It's really going to mess up his character. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe they just gloss over it, so it doesn't matter. But
Aaron doesn't have a character at this point. Like.
I'm pulling another bottle of wine, but Jonathan, you're absolutely right. He was fighting the Way of the Leaf, but what they do to the Way of the Leaf here is even fucking worse because they're turning it into veganism. But I just want to point out, no one drank fucking beer out of glasses until like the 19th century.
They
if
didn't,
not the early 20th.
and they didn't drink beer in Wheel of Time at all, as we've discussed.
They drank ale. Yes,
Ale,
yes.
wine, those are the things. Uh, they did drink whiskey though. Anybody
There's
who's
quite.
anybody who's a book
There's
reader?
quite.
No, it's pronounced whiskey.
It's quite is pronounced whiskey.
Yes.
Yep.
The audiobook readers will be confused by that. But if
You're
you
lying.
because Michael Kramer and Kate Reading pronounced it Usquai. However,
It's literally spelled Oosqai.
yep. But Robert
With
Jordan
maybe a
did.
U in
Robert Jordan did answer this question on how it's pronounced. And if you think about it, Robert Jordan, a man of taste and talent from the South, almost certainly a good bourbon drinker. And who are the only people that we see cultivating corn and drinking corn distilled liquor? The Aiel. Fucking what Chads? Just drinking whiskey before it was cool. I always love those dudes. That's a real tangent, though. Let's go.
The way of the leaf is simple. Do no violence. If the whole world followed it, we'd be much better off.
No fair.
Shut up, Perrin.
I'll tell you what.
See, they're talking about fucking veganism. He's a fucking vegan.
I love how in the books, Perrin's general response to the way of the leaf is like, "Man, that sounds pretty gay."
Because it is.
You know what? To be honest, I wish that he had actually said that. If there was actual dialogue like that in Wheel of Time, the Wheel of Time would be a less charming book series for sure. But these idiots would have never tried to adapt it. But the point we made about Perrin's character. So what I was going to say is Perrin's character in the show so far, he's a sponge. He literally is whatever the scene needs, like whatever dialogue the scene needs somebody to say, Perrin is the person to deliver it. He's just a prop.
And in the books, he's not, right? Because he represents careful thought and wisdom. And he's not a sponge. He points out almost immediately the naivete of the Tinkers and their philosophy.
Yep.
Are they going to fix this though? Or are they just going to have him be?
So I have heard that they have said yes, Perrin has made it through his way of the leaf delusions, and that him picking up the axe in the finale symbolized him putting down the way of the leaf and taking up the axe again. To which my response would be, but he didn't use the axe. He picked it up and then sat there terrified like a little bitch and watched Padden Fane walk away with the Horn of Valir. So, no, you didn't establish that he rejected the way of the leaf. You just established that he's a coward.
All right, let's keep the comments to this episode because you're spoiling episode 8 for me.
Okay, so I guess I have another question here, which is, who picked the seating arrangement? Like, because you have Rand on the far left, you have Perrin and Egwene in the middle, and then you have Nynaeve on the other end of the table. Who decided that Perrin and Egwene are going to be sitting together other than Perrin?
They need dramatic shots. You don't get it. If they don't get the dramatic looking shots, the show's ruined.
Yeah, I guess.
I
Or is this
typically
for the dream or the vision sequence coming up from our seer?
So
the 38-year-old Asian lady.
The thing that I'm more offended by on this seating arrangement is the fact that all of them are sitting on the same side of the table. It's like, like the Last Supper, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, I get it. For camera placement, you thought that was convenient, but that's not what fucking people do when they're sitting at a table. Like, they would all be sitting across from each other so you can actually look at the person you're talking to. And if they weren't going to do that, then yes, you're right. Rand would sit on the same side as Egwene if they were going to have multiple people on a side like that. But
I was about to say
beer
maybe
would
they
be in stone mugs. Fuck.
I was about to say maybe they were saving places for Lan and Moraine, but anybody seen Lan?
Yeah, I think he probably went to the purse store to get Moraine a replacement.
He has a secret family. Don't tell anybody.
He's gonna buy a pack of smokes.
Yeah,
Too bad he comes back.
right.
Travelers
Yes.
are better than anything you've ever known. All of you.
Big
See?
fan of the implication that Rand was regularly cooking
Any
her
detail
dinner.
would be helpful, no matter how seemingly small.
It's quite invasive, this.
Okay, wait. Can you pause? This is the most asinine comment that I'm going to make in this whole rewatch. But can you rewind like 5 seconds and then look at that fan waving above Marine's head in the background?
And
Just look above her head.
Any
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
detail would be helpful, no matter how seemingly small.
Here. Above her head, you got that reddish looking thing. What the fuck is this?
okay, I'm gonna
I
have
think
to.
it's
I'm gonna
the
have to hit.
curtains.
I'm gonna have to hit
Curtains
play.
or
I think it
something?
might be the curtains.
Dane's drunk. That's what this is.
It's quite invasive, this.
What the fuck
No.
is that?
What the
Dane,
fuck is
I think
that?
Dane's right. I think that they invented a ceiling fan.
Oh gosh, you're right. It's like lifting up and down.
But would that even do anything?
No, it
No.
wouldn't.
Because if it had a fixed rigid blade, then maybe, right, you could have a cambered sort of surface that would push, like that could happen. But it's just waving a curtain slowly, like that wouldn't do shit.
Is there someone up there with like a hand crank turning this thing?
That's the real question.
It's the person who was up in the rafters to move Nynaeve's hair around in episode 4.
I thought we decided those were like drones
Strings.
with strings.
Maybe.
Do they know what I am?
No, no one does. Thanks.
Wait, what? Amelisa knows.
Yeah,
You
what?
fucking liar.
You literally just fucking lied. There's
Yeah.
there's no obfuscation. There's no anything about that. No one does. Thanks to the Aes Sedai. You can't say that.
Yes.
You physically could not force yourself to make those words come out of your mouth. This is, to me, I think this is the clearest example of just a straight up lie that she says in the entire series. Like that,
Yep.
there's no like maybe she was thinking this, like nope, that was a lie. There's no other way of interpreting that. This statement is 100% a lie. She knows it when she says it. It's not like it's something that she believes to be true because she just talked to somebody else who's not an Aes Sedai, who knows who she is. And apparently the king also knows.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. Even Algamar
Lord
knows.
Agomar.
So it's not even, you can't even be like, well, she was trained at the White Tower, so maybe just Aes Sedai and people trained there know, which she still doesn't say. She says no one does. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, you lying bitch.
It's COVID's fault.
Dude,
Crap mine.
Dude.
No, this is the pure crap mine. This is a type of detail that no one catches in a first review. But now that we have all the benefit of all the episodes out in hindsight and doing a rewatch, yep,
except
we're finding
this
out
is
this gets worse.
except
It
this
gets
is
worse.
this is just within itself. This is a lie put into obvious light by
Yeah, but
the exact, like, not even multiple episodes within this episode prior
I know,
to this
but-
happening. It is insanity.
But the whole thing about this, we've kept a keen eye on trying to find Moraine in a lie because we saw hints of it early. I think we caught a few of them. So we've been looking for this.
But the show
right?
has been inviting you to do that. Within this show, we're going to see this later in this episode. They are going to say again that Moraine can't lie. The characters on camera are going to say that in this episode in like the next fucking scene.
Oh,
You would
wait,
think
really?
they would just have an intern to just go over the scripts and be like, "Hey, it's your job Make sure we have everything that comes out of her mouth not a lie. But even that seems like they don't even care enough to do.
Like, I mean, again, it's the job of the showrunner, right? This is
Somebody's or
the
Sarah
buck the buck
Nakamura.
the buck stops there. Moraine is a liar, and it's Rafe's fault. You can say that, well, maybe it's somebody else's fault as well, but Rafe hired that person and supervised that person and is ultimately the one responsible. So he loves Moraine's character so much in order to make the entire show about her and ruin the story of the Eye of the World in order to make it happen. And he still turns her into a fucking Black Aja member who has forsworn the three O's because clearly she can lie.
Rajanor, Masara, and a new one when we started yakking about
Moog-headed
who's
Jen?
in charge of. Yeah. Jennifer Salke, the head of Amazon Studios. Moog-headed Jen. I'm giving the double thumbs up. I like that that name. Okay. This sucks. All right, let's keep going. You're absolutely right. She's a fucking liar. Breaks
if we
three
revealed
O's
what
all
you
the
were, you'd be
time.
hounded every minute of the day. Or worse.
What are you doing? Blackmailing her?
She lied to her and then blackmailed her. She's a fucking dark friend.
The fuck is wrong with moron? Who thinks she's a good character?
What is this?
apparently her ability requires concentration, even though part of her story and part of like the reason her character is the way that she is, she can't stop seeing the visions. She sees them constantly when she doesn't want to, when she, like, it doesn't matter. So the idea that this would have to happen, like, this is purely to just try and drum up the, like, ooh, magic, you know? But it's going to undermine her character. She can't be Min if she has an on and off switch for being able to see these things. Her character is based on the fact that she can't escape seeing the fate of others, often their deaths.
It's just them once again going back to fantasy generic seer character. Let's just make it magical for the drama.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, John, with the thing that seer statement. Yep. It's just, you've seen other shows before. This is the same as other shows. Then why are you telling this story?
Let's see what. Oh
They're
fuck!
both big.
What is she gonna see?
And they both brood.
Haha, brooding men.
The one on the left has yellow eyes.
No shit.
Okay. And blood running down
Whoop.
his chin, huh?
Oh, you can kind of see it on the left a little bit.
Dane, did you do the homework on this one? What were the actual visions that she saw about them, or are we just gonna have to go off
About
memory? Yeah.
a wolf, trees flowering all around, a broken crown.
Mm-hmm. The broken crown is a good
sparks.
one. That one took a long time for them to kind of show what that one was.
It was never obvious. Yeah.
Blood running down his chin.
It's only because he has his mouth open all the time.
So they took the broken crown from him, which was one of probably the more interesting ones for his character, especially because the wolves gets explained pretty quickly. Matt apparently doesn't even have a fucking visions because fuck Matt. Right. It's not like the visions about Matt were important. If only we had Min in Bearlawn before Matt's character fucking noped the fuck out of this show. Fuck this show.
What do we see about Rand?
Yep.
Simping about a kid that obviously isn't his if you look at his hair.
No,
Egwene's
other baby.
testing in the Aes Sedai. Against testing in book 3.
White flame. And a ring of gold. I don't know.
Oh, what could that be, Moraine?
But they're all linked, all four of them.
Is that unusual?
Very. I see sparks
Wait,
of
what?
light trying to fill.
least they
So
actually got
here,
this right.
they've
Yeah.
taken it,
Sort of.
but
Yeah.
I hate this so much, and I've said it before. I said it again. Now they're taking stuff from the books again, and they're bastardizing it. This is more painful than episodes 4, 5, and 6 because they could have done this right. They could have done this in the fucking second episode if they did Barrelon and had everyone in there.
Yeah.
And now they do this, and they reduce what were Perrin's visions? We kind of went over that. Rand was supposed to have the sword that wasn't a sword, him pouring water on sand, a beggar's staff, a bloody hand.
Three
Um,
women standing over his a funeral pyre and a beggar staff. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, a crown. Wasn't the laurel crown in there as well?
I don't think the Crown of Swords was in there yet, well, maybe I'll have to reread it
Actually, no. I'm just
again.
thinking of the broken crown. Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah,
but
Kalendor,
that
his
the
three
bloody
girls.
face, the dagger with a ruby, or the laughing face dagger with a ruby, and a horn. So that was in Matt.
Yep.
So I think the three of them got it. Tom Maryland got some bit of foreshadowing or backshadowing with the White Tower and a man juggling fire, not him. And when they were all together, kind of the lightning strikes or the darkness and them fighting back with lightning strikes going back into it.
So
Like it
I think the
it
only
was
thing that they get,
cool, but
I
then this is fucking dumb and bad.
yeah, I think the only thing that they get here right is these sort of sparks of light trying to fill the shadow. But they do a really shitty job showing it, right? Like this is something, and I don't know. What do you guys think they could have done better? I think that they really should have driven down the darkness of everything around them, sort of like you put things out of focus. They should have made all of that almost like the void and just the sort of sparks of light kind of illuminating them. And it seems like they kind of tried to do that, but not nearly enough. Um, but I mean, the sparks of light fighting the shadow, poor execution, but it is correct.
And did you say what they missed for Matt? I pulled it up.
It is.
Yeah, a horn, a laughing face, and a dagger with a ruby, correct?
And the Red Eagle.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
The shadows, and the shadows trying to swallow the sparks. For what it's worth, they're all very clear visions. Usually, the more important someone is to the pattern, the clearer the vision.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought she basically said, Jesus Christ, I don't even know what to make of Rand. That dude's all sorts of fucked up when I'm trying to figure out what he's got going on.
It's the opposite. Well, it's Aes Sedai and Warders have so many visions that they cram together,
Mm-hmm.
but Min has no sense of how clear a vision is, depending on their importance or certainty.
It's yeah.
Like this is a pure invention from them. Like,
Yes.
fuck these idiots.
Yeah, and more interesting, something that they could have said here is that most people don't have any visions other than Aes Sedai and Warders. These all have a vision. They must have some sort of a fate or a destiny. They could have made that. They could have said that, and that might have been a way to introduce kind of what the sort of visions are, maybe a little bit. The idea that they're stronger, like that's yeah. And again,
My biggest question. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and again, so the girls get, a white flame and a golden ring. He gets, yellow, golden eyes and a bloody mouth. And Rand gets holding a fucking baby. So,
That's my
yep,
question.
4
This is
people.
this is the penultimate episode. Rand reveal is in this episode.
Yes.
Why not show any of his foreshadowing? It's so bizarre.
Because they
Because
literally don't understand how a mystery works and don't want to give it away until they absolutely have to. Like it's the worst.
yeah.
Is any vision stronger than the others?
Not particularly.
Ah, good. At least they're both lying to each other because we know that she apparently lies to Moraine here. And again, that the audience is getting lied to, right? Because when Rand comes back, she explains, like, actually, from your visions, like I do actually know what's up. Or am I actually, never mind? I'm misremembering that because she knows who he is because of her vision of Tam. I don't know. One of you
Yeah,
guys,
when she
one of
just
you guys, help me out. Is she lying here, and are we the audience being lied to? I know we've been lied to before,
she's
obviously.
37, which means she was fucking 17 when Rand was born. So she was like fully grown and fully manifested her abilities in Tarvalon when baby Rand got dragged by in after the
Isn't
placenta
it?
smell.
Isn't it? Is it this time or is it the next time when her and Rand talks? The romance is set up. I can't
Oh, I
remember.
don't think there's any
I don't
romance
think
that's
there's
set
any
up,
romance.
but
We'll have to
it's
take
at
your
the end
word
of
for it.
episode 7.
The
But
three women are set up. Yeah. Okay.
we're not going to subject you to that, John. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got enough fucking crap ahead of you. This
You
sucks.
saw something for me.
I like that she's drinking whiskey.
Is it,
Don't look at
or
me
is it
like that.
Usquai?
I would-
see the Amaryllis
I would
here,
have to
and
drink a
she's
lot
wearing full regalia.
to get through acting in this scene.
When does the
She's going to
Amerlin
give
seat
down
not
for
wear
it.
full regalia? Oh, when she's fucking muff diving you.
It's
Well,
going to be your downfall. Oh boy.
That could also be a muff diving reference.
I just want to say, of all of the things that we see in this is the one that I'm actually most interested in because I can't wait to see how disappointing of a payoff Rafe Judkins has planned for this. It's
They're going to be
Um,
holding hands and she's going to like fall off like a 2-foot stair.
I guess they're setting up the fall of the White Tower here.
I have no idea.
No, but at the end of the season, she's supposed. Well, spoilers for Pips. She's supposedly stilled.
Well,
So how much
Moraine,
worse can it get for her?
I don't
Like
know. It's yeah. This
this
scene,
drama sucks.
the Rand holding a baby could be like metaphorical. All of the other ones, we all know exactly what those are. This one, like, you wouldn't invent this thing for Moraine unless they have a plan for what they want to do to resolve this. And
You'd think that.
I can't wait to see how absolutely stupid it is. Like, it is going to be not even on the level of the fan fiction we see this season. I think it's going to be the fucking worst thing ever put to film, probably. But
Manos, Hands of Fate. All right, we gonna break here, boys?
Yes,
Laughter.
we need to break here because woof. This scene coming up
oh yeah,
is
Awful.
we got
this
to prep.
this is the scene where John is getting his paycheck. By the way, John, you don't get paid for doing this. If that wasn't made clear before we started this, hate to tell you now, this is an unpaid internship.
Coof.
also,
Don't worry,
if you
none
could,
of us
if you
are
could
getting
sign
paid either.
the waiver liability that we're not responsible for any brain or liver damage caused by this rewatch.
I'd actually need that waiver. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I've got brain and liver damage.
All right. Well, yeah, Dane, I think maybe we want to lead us into some closing thoughts, and then we can refill some glasses.
All right. So we refill glasses, but our main character is going to a bar in Faldara should not be drinking beer out of glasses. Just so everyone's aware, right? That this is not a parochialism. What? Fuck. I had the word in a previous rewatch, but no. Instead of anachronism, there's the opposite of it. But this is an anachronism. Paranachronism?
I don't know.
Yeah, good. Anyways, you're in a Renaissance setting without gunpowder. Well, one of the last things you'd have is actual glassware in a bar because that is very late 19th, early 20th century as far as that getting invented. Sorry, I'm passionate about this stuff for some unknown reason. It's probably alcohol related. Elsewise, Yeah, I don't like Pat and Fane. I don't like how they butchered the accepted ring or sent the red Aja after Matt. I think Min looks hideous, and that's nothing against her. Well, no, it kind of is against her. They should not have cast a 37-year-old Asian woman to play who is supposed to be Rand's best girl.
They should not have
And I
cast a
ran.
37-year-old woman. Like honestly, that's the problem. She's I'm sure she's a good actress. I'm sure all those other things. She shouldn't be 37, and she shouldn't look 37 is the problem. Like I looked at her and I was like, yeah, she looks late 30s. That should not be what we're seeing here.
I
And she
am
at
late
least have
30s, and I don't look late 30s. Like, put some effort in, right? It's easy as you get the L'Oreal under the eye kind of eye roller thing to make your baggy eyes disappear. But
you
yeah,
wish she at least had chemistry with your main actor.
well,
Right.
that's coming up. They haven't had a scene together, but I've said it before. Episodes 4, 5, 6, I was able to laugh at because they were so far gone from everything in the books. They're back to butchering the book that I love. Fuck this show. Over to you, Pips.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did a pretty good summation. Things that we learned this episode is that Pat and Fane can channel. They tried to fix that in a retcon sort of set picture, but I'm not going to give them that. You are judged by the things that you actually put on camera before the audience, not a still shot that you release in X-ray content behind a paywall on your content. That's not how that works. So Pat and Fane can channel. That's what we learned. We learned that Lady Amalisa also can channel. She shouldn't be able to, but she can. We learned that Faldara doesn't keep torches lit, and by proxy, or by extension rather, we learned that the Murdral can't teleport into shadows, which I suppose makes sense for in-world how incompetent and shitty and terrible they are at being able to do anything. We also learn that all of the viewings are jacked up and that Rand continues to be a simp for his entire life and that Moraine is Black Aja. That's what we've learned so far this episode. All of it's bad and Rafe Judkins
None of it's good.
fucking blows. All right, that's it.
Alex.
We are once again in the middle of an episode where I am bored to tears by this, and I don't understand how we have so many of these episodes in a book of the Eye of the World that was fairly action packed and just as you guys said, they just continually ruin characters like it's a joke to them or something, and it drives me nuts.
We have a sick fetish. All right. Last word to our special guest, Jonathan R., one of the very first White Cloaks YouTube followers. Comments that are months and months old. Super stoked to have you on, but give you the last word for this section, but feel free to branch out if you want.
I just really want to give a shout out to the White Cloaks. You guys have been out here in the trenches, especially the White Cloaks Twitter account. That if it wasn't for you guys, dissension I feel like would be squished on the internet. And I really, as a community troll myself, the White Cloaks exist because people need to hear us and just don't give up the fight. The show sucks, and we're not going to be gaslighting to think it's good.
Oh, yeah,
Extremely
we
well
are.
said.
We appreciate your support. You, like Dane said, you've been commenting and active kind of in the comment section for a while. Super happy to have been able to get you on. And we honestly we appreciate your kind of connection with the story and the insight that you bring. We're in the next episode of the rewatch to air on Thursday. We're gonna have a lot to say about Egwene, and I think you're gonna be featured prominently in those conversations. So get ready for that, friend.
Fucking load up. Hang on to your butts. This is going to start sucking even more.
Well, then I will say I think we're about 379, 380 subs, something like that. So continuing to grow. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're going to continue to try and make content worth that. So comment on the episodes. That helps kind of with the algorithm, promoting, finding new subscribers, all that stuff. Just like sharing and liking does. So comment, like, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. And then especially leave comments on content and other stuff that you guys would like to see, or if you think we missed anything in this episode. And otherwise, we're going to go refill glasses. And for the Discord, we'll be right back. For YouTube, we'll be back on Thursday. Walk in the light.